Happy New Comic Book Day, everybody. My name is Chris, Comic Vet. Hope this stream finds you safe and well. I see there's a few people that have already decided to spend a little bit of their lunch hour with me. I greatly appreciate it. And so yeah, it's greetings from the great wet north. It's raining here today. Uh, yeah, I'm hoping that it's just continuing to be light sprinkles and it doesn't interfere with the audio, because here I am live from my car like I normally do on New Comic Book Day. If it starts to get really bad here in the audio, it just sounds like someone's just hammering my phone, I'll end the live stream. But anyways, I hope everyone's doing well. It is Wednesday. I did spend an arm and a leg. My wallet is very upset with me because of what happened at my LCS. Yeah, I got a pretty big stack of books, so it looks like my next few days are going to be really occupied by reading the investments that I decided to pull off. So let's just give a quick say hello to the people who are in the chat. It's popped up my good friend from the heart of Texas, Ryan, new guy, the host of the Cosmic Campfire. Sup. Hope you're doing well, my man. For those that are unfamiliar with Ryan is the co-host, along with myself, on the Legion of Comics at Week's End, hosted by Mark. And we have a real good time Sunday nights. I like to think that the three of us have very good chemistry together, and you tune in for a spoiler-filled look back at the past week for fandom, and there's a lot of jokes, a lot of good-natured ribbing, but most importantly, we dissect all the books that we read in a very intelligent manner. So yeah, let's check out some of the books that I have. Right now, I'm actually parked outside my work. So when I'm done this, I'm essentially going to go in there and run the asylum, because, like I always say, the asylum doesn't run itself. Okay. Just to show everyone how much money that I dropped at my LCS today. Last week was a light week for books. I think I only picked up 6 or 7. I did miss out on a couple books that sold out before I had an opportunity to get there, for whatever reasons. One of those, of course, being the Department of Truth. And after hearing what happened in the Department of Truth, I'm kind of cheesed that I missed out on it. Anyways, this is the stack of books that I picked up today. Like I mentioned, my wallet is not happy with me. But let's just take a quick look at some of these comments. Hell yeah, dude. Can't wait for Sunday. It's quickly become a regular thing for me Sundays. I gotta admit, Ryan and myself and Mark, we've been doing this for what feels like better part of 4, 5, 6 months, and we developed quite the chemistry, like I mentioned earlier. Make sure that you check that out, everybody. My friend from the right coast, it's Travis, TM Nerdy Station, my man. Hope you're doing well in the beautiful island of PEI. KD737, hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining me. And yeah, it's a big stack, and yeah, it's pretty heavy. A lot of big banger books kind of came out. So let's just get right into it. For those that have joined me for this stream, again, thank you for spending some of your lunch hour, or some of your morning, or some of your afternoon with me here in the Eastern time zone. It is 12:05, so again, I appreciate you spending a little bit of time. As always, I start with my independence. I picked up issue 2, or is what Boom Studios is calling chapter 2 for this particular book. It's Basilisk. I did enjoy issue 1, and I believe Ryan from the Cosmic Campfire, he actually enjoyed issue 1 as well. We'll see where it goes with this particular issue. It does seem like the main character is going to be a female lead, which I find, again, refreshing, a la Something is Killing the Children. So we'll see where this goes. Cullen Bunn's Basilisk, Chapter 2. But aggressively relaxing. Happy New Comic Book Day to you too. Thank you for joining me, my man. From Image, a series that I've quietly been reading and quietly enjoying. It's Robert Kirkman's Firepower. This should basically start a new arc. Issue 12 was a little bit of an anniversary issue. There was a bunch of variants that came out that came. I wasn't particularly fond of the variants or whatever, but I just enjoyed the story for what it is. Yeah, Firepower from Skybound, issue 13. So Ryan's mentioning double female lead. So I'm presuming he's still talking about Basilisk. Yes. So double female leads, very refreshing. I can't remember the last time we actually ever had double female leads outside of a X-Men team book, which just focused on just female mutants altogether. And I think it's been a while since we've actually had that type of X-Men book. Issue 4 of Geiger. This is Jeff Johns' quite popular storyline. Everyone who I know that have read this book is thoroughly enjoying it. It's good actions, good story. It takes place in Las Vegas, and every hotel seems to have a different faction of people. So we'll see where this particular issue goes with issue 4. There was a couple different covers at my LCS. I just went with this one. To me, it kind of has a little bit of a Mad Max feel to it. I don't know about you, but yeah, it's interesting. We will see where it goes. Jeff Johns, Geiger, issue 4. Another series that from Image that everyone seems to really thoroughly enjoy that are reading it. It's issue 5 of Noctera. Another female-led storyline. I've been quietly enjoying it myself. When I say quietly, it's because generally at week's end with Ryan and Mark on the Legion of Comics flagship live stream, I haven't spoken about Noctera, but I do enjoy it. It's very dark. For those that don't know the premise of the book, it's basically taking place where the entire planet has been encompassed in darkness, and there's only a few areas of light, and where the darkness is, there are monsters. So Noctera, issue 5. We get into that. And the final independent book that I'm going to be speaking about right now, for now, is from Aftershock. It's issue number 2 of a series where issue number 1 was pretty damn trippy. Again, for those that read it, thought it, I know I didn't hear any negative comments about it. It was beautifully done, beautifully colored. With that being said, this is issue number 2 of Out of Body. Inaki Miranda does the artwork for this particular issue, and if you don't know who that is, Inaki Miranda did We Live, arguably one of the best one of the best story-based comic books we've had in years. I'm halfway through that series. Once I'm done, I'm sure myself, Mark, and Ryan will get into great detail about it, because they've actually been pretty quiet about speaking about that storyline with me, even though the book finished up, I believe, 4 or 5 months ago. Again, Peter Milligan and Inaki Miranda's Out of Body, issue number 2. If this is anything like issue number 1, it's going to be beautiful on the inside, and we'll see where the story goes from there. Like I said, I never heard any negative comments about Out of Body number 1. Moving to DC, and I'll start with the franchise in DC. It's issue 110 of the Caped Crusader. We'll see where this particular story goes. Batman's been hit or miss, and I really mean that. It's been hit or miss with the last, say, 15 issues since JTIV has taken over. Some have been good, some have been bad, and some have been great. Sadly, there hasn't been that many great stories recently from the franchise title from DC. But again, it's hard to leave on the shelf because it's just one of those characters that you just don't want to miss out on. When someone says, "Oh my God, did you see what happened in the last issue of Batman?" You don't want to be that person that says, "No, I decided to give it up," because special things happen in Batman all the time. First appearances, brand new story arcs coming out of left field. And hey, let's be honest, there is some spec value when it comes to Batman books. But anyways, issue 110 of the franchise, Batman. Now, this is a DC book that I've been saying for 5 months. Reads like an independent. And if you watch my channel, you know exactly what I'm going to show you next. It is simply Suicide Squad. This is issue 5 of Suicide Squad. Of the 4 issues that came before this, I would only say 1 wasn't that good. Just one of those 4 wasn't that good, and the others were tremendous. Suicide Squad seems to be the backbone of the DC continuity right now for at least 3 or 4 or 5 different storylines that are going on. Kelly Thompson is doing a bang-up job with Suicide Squad. It's nice to see old toilet bowl head here on the cover. I still can't get over how much he looks like John Cena. But anyways, Suicide Squad 5. This is a book I recommend all the time. If you want to get into DC, pick up 1 through 4 and now issue 5, and you will quickly find out what's going on throughout the entire DC world. DC hit that reset button back around Christmas time, and they've been flawless. I shouldn't say flawless. They've been great ever since when it comes to their stories. And arguably the best story that has been coming out since Christmas when it comes to DC is this, Swamp Thing. This is Swamp Thing issue 5. It's a 10-part limited series brought to us by Rom V, and it is fantastic. Again, some people could argue this is not the best DC story out there right now. I believe it is. Swamp Thing 5. Yeah, Ron V to me is the quickest up-and-coming writer on my radar. You know, there are the big boys out there, Chip Zdarsky, James Tynion, Donny Cates. But if you're not watching Ron V and Kelly Thompson, and I saw that Ryan corrected me that it's Robbie Thompson handling Suicide Squad, but Kelly Thompson is fantastic as well. But Ron V is a writer to be watching. Anything that he puts out, as far as I'm concerned, is terrific. And I believe Ron V is going to be one of the creative forces behind the new Venom series once it gets relaunched later this fall from Marvel. But yes, Swamp Thing is spectacular. If you're not reading Swamp Thing, you are missing out. You don't have to be a fan of Swamp Thing or Alan Moore's Swamp Thing or have any idea how Swamp Thing has been going on through the 80s and 90s. You can walk into it with just a fresh palette, start at issue 1, and just be blown away by both the interiors and the wonderful, weird story that is encompassing this particular storyline of the Swamp Thing. And as I said, how spectacular it is, Ryan says it wasn't his, it wasn't his favorite, but it was still good. And that's the banter you'll see Sunday nights on At Week's End between myself, Ryan, and Mark. And Teen Titans Academy, still not good. I think it's been pretty good myself, but that's why we have chocolate vanilla. Some people enjoy it, some people prefer not. Flash by Night, my man. Hope you're doing well. Stationary buddy. And the last DC book that I picked up was issue 2 of hopefully continuing a good storyline. It is Wonder Girl. I'm not particularly sold on this cover. I didn't want to necessarily go into the B cover or the variants just because they're $1 more, and I seemed to have picked up like more than an inch worth of comic books if you stack them up. So I just decided to go with this cover. Who knows what happened, or in the end, what's a cover by anyway? Unless it's Alex Ross, let's be honest. But I did enjoy the quiet origin that was a part of issue number 1, where we saw Wonder Girl return to her home and witness an accident, and then eventually have to take a big dive into a lake at the end of issue 1 as a cliffhanger to go and get some things, as I just want to say, that will become relevant to the character. And I'm presuming this particular issue starts off right where she dives in. Issue 2 of Wonder Girl. Good spec value too, by the way. Shifting gears into Marvel. Of course, like I always do, I start with the franchise. This is issue 70, the prelude to the Sinister War, which will be the end of Nick Spencer's run on the Amazing Spider-Man. Again, I know this is a Mark Bagley cover, but this is pretty weak. Again, I'm having a hard time finding a lot of positives with the Amazing Spider-Man lately, so much so that I can't even talk about it anymore just because it's so frustrating. But again, I can't leave it on the shelf just because of who he is. But this is the Amazing Spider-Man, prelude to the Sinister War. I'm presuming this will be a little bit more of Peter's sister's storyline as well. We may see that come to an end with Teresa Parker. We'll see what happens. Again, the story has been, other than her showing up and communicating with the chameleon in prison, the story's been weak. The artwork in the interior for the last issue was weak. The cover of this particular issue, in my opinion, is weak. And this is the most famous character that Marvel's pumping out, and this is the cover that we get. Not that good. Okay, sticking with Spider-Man, I picked up his annual. The annual is continuing the Infinite Destiny storyline that's been crossing over most of the Marvel annuals so far this summer. This cover is a little bit better. It features Star, who I can't seem to figure out whether she's a hero or she's a villain. Either way, she's most famous to Captain Marvel readers. I personally think that we are going to see Star show up in the next MCU iteration of Captain Marvel. The Marvels, I believe, is what it's called. So those that are looking for some interesting spec, you heard it right here, right now. Go pick up Star's first appearance. You could probably get a CGC 9.8 of her first appearance, less than $100. But this is Star on the cover right here with the franchise down here. So yeah, this is actually, in my opinion, a better cover, slightly, than what the ASM 70 is. They're both not super. This one's better. Not by much, though. Now, with that being said about these covers, let's talk about the cover of the week for me. And again, I mentioned his name earlier, and I'm going to say it again. Alex Ross. This, I believe, is the final issue of Captain America. It's issue number 30, and I believe he's going to be relaunched again. If I'm wrong about this being his final chapter for this particular arc, please forgive me. I have been quietly reading Captain America. Again, good and bad, both like how Batman was. But again, cover of the week. Most of you probably will agree with me. How great is that? Captain America and a group of people taking pictures of him. everyone black and white, and Cap in full color. Alex Ross greatness. I believe this is almost an homage to to himself. I believe there's a Hulk cover that's kind of like it. But yeah, it's pretty damn cool. Captain America 30. This cover's been on my radar for 3 or 4 months, I'll be honest. So I'm glad that it's finally here. And sticking with Alex Ross, we'll get into Al Ewing's Immortal Hulk. This is issue 48. So after this issue, we have 2 more. Then Al Ewing is done, as is the Immortal Hulk. And then we have Donny Cates take over. More Alex Ross greatness. The Immortal Hulk, issue 48. The way that it's angled here, you almost think that it might be a wraparound cover. So let's just see if it is. No, it's not. It's a Black Widow ad on the back. And I believe that movie is coming out Friday. Anyways, the Immortal Hulk. Again, let's see where this goes. It's actually been very good, coming towards its big conclusion. This book has exposed me to Al Ewing's writing, and yeah, I'm quietly enjoying Al Ewing, so we'll see where it goes from there. So I decided at the last moment to pick up issue 1 of a limited series that I saw was coming out, and I kind of thought, we'll see. But when I saw the cover, it kind of sold me, I'll be honest. It's the start of the symbiotic story of the summer. It is Extreme Carnage. It looks like we have the return of Flash Thompson, and we have Scream on the cover there. Extreme Carnage, issue 1. I'm presuming this is Marvel getting ready or attempting to sell a few books before Venom 2 gets released with Carnage. And so yeah, we'll see from there. What Flash just said. I'll continue to say that Spider-Man's lackluster turnout is hurting what could be a decent, good Marvel lineup. Can't disagree. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I almost find it heartbreaking on what's happening with the Amazing Spider-Man and how much negativity is out there from the readers, and no one seems to be listening at Marvel when it comes to Spider-Man. They gave us non-stop Spider-Man. That was a dumpster fire. We haven't had it, and again, the best Spider-Man title out there, in my opinion, is a What If story being done by Chip Zdarsky. And the interiors are not that good. Thank God the storyline is fantastic. But to each their own. This past Sunday, on my channel, like I do every Sunday, myself and Mark from Legion of Comics, we release a video called 2 Cool Guys, 2 Hot Picks, where each of us just give one pick that we feel that you should consider picking up this new comic book day. Often it's a #1 issue, a fantastic cover, but more than likely it's something about a story arc that's happening that we're thoroughly enjoying, that we think that you, the reader, could enjoy as well. Mark's hot pick was issue 2 of The Nice House on the Lake. Issue #1 caught everyone by surprise by how fantastic and how much of an incredible twist was found in that book. And of course, it was brought to us by James Tynion IV, and the interiors were by Alvaro Martinez Bueno, and it was released on DC's Black Label, so it is basically an independent, if you want to look at it that way. Anyways, The Nice House on the Lake, issue 2. This book did not sell out for me, thank goodness, and I did get my hands on a copy of Mark's hot pick, The Nice House on the Lake. Now, there were some variants that were there. I just decided to go with just the normal cover A. Again, as you can see, I've gone through a lot of books. I just didn't want to go too crazy with spending. And I gotta admit, I'm really looking forward to that pick that Mark did. It was an epic twist that I found to be just terrific. And I'm glad that he made it his pick. And just to let everyone know, issue #1 was my pick a month ago. Anyways, my hot pick this past Sunday on 2 Cool Guys, 2 Hot Picks, pardon me, was issue #1 of what is going to be a weekly storyline. So every week we're going to have a brand new issue, and it is from Robert Kirkman off the Image Publishing brand, but it's his own publishing, or pardon me, it's his own house, Skybound. And the book I'm talking about is Skybound X. Some people may refer to it as Skybound 10 because this is celebrating Skybound's 10th year of storytelling. So, with that being said, I went with the normal cover. There are a handful of variants, but I went with this particular cover, and I'll tell you why. It is Rick Grimes holding a lightsaber taking on zombies. Oh my God, come on. Yes, it's kind of like we have superhero Rick with a lightsaber taking on zombies. This cover, I believe, just by looking at the art, is done by Charlie Adlard. And these books do have a cover price of $4.99, and they will have some short stories in there as well. I believe this particular issue is a spec book because it has Clementine from the Walking Dead video game series, her first appearance in comic books. So you may want to pick up this book just on that alone. Let's admit, The Walking Dead is not being published as a monthly anymore. It is being redone with color, but it is still a very sought-after book. Those books have essentially not cooled down. They still are big boy books. Walking Dead #1 is still a 4-figure book. And yeah, so you may want to pick up this story. But it does have a short story from Manifest Destiny, and also a short story from Ultra Mega. And if you've been reading Ultra Mega, which has been out for, I believe, 3 months now, you'll know that it's been fantastic. Ultra Mega is a very, very good storyline, and it does have a short story featuring the characters from Ultra Mega in here. Maybe it even has Boosh. We'll see. But Skybound X, issue #1. Again, it's Rick Grimes with a lightsaber. My God, like, come on. Talk about home run. I don't even care if the story is any good. It's Rick Grimes holding a lightsaber, kind of looking like the Green Lantern. That is just great. Just great. Good on you, Robert Kirkman. Good on you. But yeah, it's they're calling the storyline the Beyond the Walking Dead Rick Grimes 2000. I don't know why they would want to call it 2000. That's 21 years ago. They could have called it, 2100 or 2500. Anyways, with that said, semantics. Yeah, my hot pick for today, Skybound X. Spec value, Clementine's first appearance. We get Rick Grimes holding a lightsaber, and a couple short stories from Manifest Destiny and Ultra Mega. Mark's hot pick for, I guess, yesterday it would have been released, was the fantastic The Nice House on the Lake, brought to us by JTIV. And just to recap my other books before I let everyone enjoy the rest of their day, I picked up issue #1 of Extreme Carnage. It looks like we have the return of Flash Thompson, and it also features Scream. Again, I think this is just Marvel pumping out a few books before Venom 2 Carnage gets released. 48, The Immortal Hulk. We have 2 more stories after this one before the conclusion of The Immortal Hulk. And issue 30 of what I feel is the cover of the week, Captain America. If I'm right, I believe this is the final issue of Cap before it gets relaunched, probably with a new creative team. The annual #2 of The Amazing Spider-Man, continuing the Infinite Destinies storyline that has been crossing over all the Marvel annuals. Issue 70 of the Flagship. That's all I'm going to say about that. Issue 2 of Wonder Girl. What I feel is probably the best storyline right now in DC. It's issue 5 of 10 of The Swamp Thing. Issue 5 of what I feel is the backbone of DC's continuity right now, Suicide Squad. 110 of the DC franchise. from Aftershock Comics, number 2 of Out of Body. Scott Snyder and Tony Daniels, issue 5 of Noctera. Issue 4, Jeff Johns' Geiger. Really like this Mad Max kind of cover. Issue 13 of Robert Kirkman and Chris Samney's Firepower. And lastly, from Boom Studios, it's Cullen Bunn's issue 2 of Basilisk. Comic Army, that's my book. Just to show everyone collectively what they look like. I got a lot of reading in my future. We'll just quickly pop through the comments. Let's see. I don't have an. You haven't read Cap. That's okay. Yeah, the cover is just fantastic. Jennifer Jo Harding. That's awesome. Thank you for joining me. Flash by Night. Skybound is Robert Kirkman's brand. Yes. Inside of Image. Yes, it is. It's his publishing house within Image. Image essentially just prints the books for him. I've always wondered about the Skybound imprint. Yep. It's the same thing as what Jim Lee did back in the day. Same with Mark Silvestri and Liefeld. They all had their own studios within the Image imprint, and that's what's happening here. Apparently, I'm missing Fight Girls. If that's worth reading, let me know, Travis. I'll pick it up. There was another book that was not at my comic shop. He actually didn't bring it in. He didn't think anyone's going to be interested, but he is going to try and bring it in for me next week. I believe it is Impossible Gods. Is that what it's called? It's something Gods, and it's from Image. Either way, hopefully it's in for me next Wednesday. It'll be something that I'm obviously going to have on my pull list for him to pull it in or for him to pick it up for me. And yeah, let's just kind of end it right here with Ryan saying great stuff. Awesome stack, man. All of you that join me today on your lunch hour or your early morning or your little bit of your afternoon time, I appreciate it. It's just crossing over the 33-minute mark here. I am outside my work, not beside my LCS. And I'd like to thank the weather for going along with me here. It has stopped raining. It does look like we could get downpoured on any moment now. So ordinary gods, that's it. Thank you very much. And so yeah, with that being said, everyone, I'll see you soon. Thank you for spending a little bit of your time with me. And until I see you again, take care. Benefits like a manufacturer warranty and roadside assistance.